In this video, I will show you how I prepare fuchigane and tsukagashira to create my own sword handles with minimal damage to my wallet, but still maintaining the visually appealing appearance. Hi, it's Hito. I'm an ichi practitioner and I'm a very huge fan of Japanese swords and sword fittings. In this channel, we will share scientific knowledge of samurai culture and exciting facts related to traditional Japanese practice. If you're interested in learning Japanese culture 1 or 2 steps deeper, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more contents. I believe one of the most fascinating aspects of Japanese swords is that each sword fittings can be a valuable artworks. This is why some sword fittings are traded as high price, even though many people think that only sword part is valuable. This misconception could be due to the fact that these components are not often highlighted in animes or movies. However, in reality, other parts of the sword is also traded at high prices. For instance, if you buy swords with koshirae for $6,000, half of the price may be for koshirae components other than the sword's blade, such as saya, habaki, fuchigane, menuki, and kashira, and so on. As an ichi practitioner, I make the sword handle by myself, but the issue is that these components are expensive. Don't you think so? I could use relatively cheap and mass-produced one, but I prefer not to because they often look noticeably different from the one handmade, which tends to look much better, in my opinion. While when it comes to purchasing antique sword fittings, the more affordable option often has worn surfaces and unclear structures, like this one where almost all the gold coating has come off. So the challenge is to find well-preserved antique sword fittings at lower prices. I hope this video could help your life with Japanese swords and learning the price of current antique Japanese sword fittings. In this discussion, I will share my thought on these topics. Material is closely related to its price, especially when you want to buy the cheaper fittings. Of course, if the fittings are very good condition, has a nice design, fine structure, or was made by the famous craftsman, the value can increase significantly regardless of the materials. However, if you're looking for more affordable options, knowing the material information helps you determine the lowest price, which is usually equals to the material's cost. There are several primary materials used for Japanese sword fittings. The main material includes gold, silver, copper, and steel. Gold was expensive also in Edo period. Therefore, fuchigane and kashira, mainly made of gold, is quite rare. I personally haven't come across any of them. Can we calculate the cost just for fun? The current price of gold is roughly $60 per gram. If a fuchigane weighs around 30 grams and is made of pure gold, the total cost would be $1,800 just for material. Silver is about 90 times cheaper and its weight is much lighter than the gold. So if a fuchigane were made of pure silver, the cost of the material would be around $11, much cheaper than the gold. However, I think high percentage silver fuchigane and kashira is quite rare or uncommon. I've never seen that before. Most of the sword fittings are made of copper or copper alloy, such as brass, shakudo, or shibuichi. These alloys include gold, so a little bit expensive, but their price is still around $10 to $20 per fuchigane. Finally, there is steel. I like steel fittings because they are affordable and the surface oxide film is very thick and strong and doesn't change color easily with use. Copper fittings also have an oxide film that gives them a beautiful appearance, but it can be easily rubbed off during the training. I like them for display but not for use, as I feel sorry when it gets damaged. Let me show you Japanese online marketplace. Here is a steel fitting which sell for around 15 US dollars. It's slightly damaged and therefore cheaper, but the typical price for simple design is often between 20 and 30 US dollars. As for shakudo, the copper gold alloy, the price increases to around 130 US dollars. It hasn't been sold yet, but this is the going rate. If you opt for a more simple design, you might be able to find one for less than 100 US dollars. The second point to consider is individual price versus paired price. The set price of fuchigane and kashira tends to be much higher, even if they have the similar quality. I've heard that the sellers usually source them from various places and try to match them up to maximize their profit. I think that's pretty smart. For example, fuchigane and kashira cost around $30 each, jump to 120 or more when sold as a set. This makes sense because matching pieces create a better looking handle. Fuchigane and kashira with matching materials, colors, and sizes result in more unified and visually appealing look. Such as doors used for this tsuka, both of the fuchigane and kashira featured snail designs and were made by same craftsman. Furthermore, the overall design is black and well coordinated. If I'm not particular about the design and craftsman, I usually find individual pieces and create a set by myself. In addition, what I think the most affordable option is to make a pair using a black fuchigane and a kashira made of water buffalo horn, since the kashira can be a shiny black after polishing, so it matches well polished black fuchigane. The handle I'm creating uses this steel fuchigane that I colored and polished myself, giving it a dark, smooth, and shiny black appearance, but not overly shiny. So I believe these can make a good pair. Back to the price, try to find individual fuchigane that much cheaper. I will show you an example. I'm sure all of these are individually made, genuine fuchigane crafted from shakudo. Many of them don't appear to have thick walls, but the total price of the just material is at least 85 US dollars because they contain 1 to 3% gold. However, the selling price of all of them is only 135 US dollars or 13 to 14 US dollars each. I think they are quite affordable. But be careful, there is also something that I pay attention to when I find paired fuchigane and kashira: the color. Let me show you an example. You probably think all of these parts are black, and that's correct. But actually, they have varying hues. This one looks bluish, this one is a bit grayish, and this one is brownish. This shows that the differently made items can have different traits, making it difficult to find fittings with completely matched colors. These variations comes from the different composition of the materials and the coloring methods. Today I discussed how I search for affordable sword fittings to create my sword handles. I recommend purchasing simple steel, fuchigane, and menuki if you plan to use them for iai or cutting practice. Additionally, for fuchigane and kashira, individual pieces are much cheaper than the set prices. If you're searching for affordable options, you can easily find in online marketplace. However, if you prefer buying them in real markets, choosing them separately can be a good option for you. If you're interested in learning how coloring method works for Japanese traditional metal works, check this video. Thanks for watching. I will see you again.